It's time for In This Very Ring. We got a lot to unpack. Here we go.
Let's go. This ain't the fuck like oh, this game he stink.
Oh shit!
It's gone.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to an incredibly thrilling edition of In This Very Ring. I'm gonna stop everything for just a half a second and just make a note that after 18 innings, 2 full games, the Houston Astros finally put away the Seattle Mariners. That game is over 1-0.
Thank
and Houston
fucking
advances
God.
to the ALCS. I wasn't sure if we were gonna finish first, like our show, or if the Yankees Guardians game was gonna finish first, or hell, if the Padres and the Dodgers were gonna finish first. Who the hell knows? But, so, huge congratulations to the Astros. We'll talk about the Phillies in a moment. But we want to thank Alonzi Travel for specializing in creating a vacation of your dreams at Disney, Universal, or wherever your heart calls you. Let their talented team of travel experts, including yours truly, create a custom vacation for you without any of the stress. Alonzi on over to alonzi-travel.com/take the trip to get in touch with one of the talented travel agents over there and see how they can help you. Welcome into the show, everybody. My name is Ritz. Joining me, as always, is the mayor of Toasty Town himself, Butters. Butters, what's going on, man? We've got a big one tonight.
Oh, it's great. Everything is solid, golden, and good.
Excellent. I love that. So we mentioned it right before I did the sponsor read. The Phillies did advance to the NLCS earlier today after just annihilating the Braves, which I'm very, very happy about on there as well. Yes, Daly, Ted, both the guys chiming in, saying that the Astros just advanced. Incredible game, 5.5 hours. The stats are uncanny. I'm sure somebody will talk about it this week. But not us, because we don't do sports. We do wrestling.
You think we don't do sports?
You think. And I've actually thought about, like, weaseling my way into having more sports conversations on here. Because I find myself talking about it all the damn time right now.
Well, damn near every episode that we've done here lately.
Well,
in the
last
past month
week
or two.
Last week when we did the Extreme Rules preview, we had the wild card game.
Yep.
And now that we're in postseason, every Saturday night, I guarantee you we're going to have something. And then tomorrow's Eagles-Dallas, so I'm sure that's going to come up in the chat at some point as well.
Mm-hmm.
It's inevitable. The Sixers are getting ready to start. The Flyers won their game earlier today. So this show is slowly becoming like very wrestling focused with some sports woven throughout the show, and I love it. It's kind of what we always talk about.
Sports.
Exactly.
Because we fat guys that know we love our turkey with a side of gravy.
How the hell?
I'm fat. I'll turn anything into food, damn it.
No comment there either. I will stay clean away from that.
It's getting close to that time, and Thanksgiving is weighing heavy on my mind.
All right, fair enough. This is true.
Figured you'd get my way.
Daly said the Ducks got crushed 7-1 tonight. Ted said and Gritty was on Extreme Rules, which was phenomenal. That was the best thing.
Gritty,
one of the best things on there. And can't have turkey without gravy. I agree. That is one thing I think we'll all agree on. But we're going to get right into it tonight. We have Extreme Rules Fallout we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about what happened this week during wrestling between WWE and AEW, some of the B stories between both shows. But first, we come to our topic of conversation brought to you by Dr. Paul Vidal at specializedphysicaltherapy.com, or he's also got 2 locations, Burlington, Cherry Hill, New Jersey. He's our doc. Make him yours at Dr. Paul Vidal. We appreciate his continued support. He weighed in for us. He's a big guest on Agree to Disagree, the flagship show here at ATD Radio, which you can catch every Sunday. But he actually weighed in for us a few months back when Big E got hurt. And so we appreciate Dr. Paul Vidal and everything he does for us. The Wyatt 6 is the 6 different personalities of Bray Wyatt. That is what we're kicking things off tonight with. Something tells me that's going to dominate the show. And I want to set the stage. I really want to talk about this. If you go back to last Saturday night, Extreme Rules, and you watched it with us, Bray Wyatt returned after a very long time away from the WWE.
Yep.
And it was an incredible, intense, 4 or 5 minutes, maybe?
Maybe.
Something of that nature. Very, very intense. Very, very, I've never experienced a moment. I said it on the air last week. I've never experienced a moment that gave me goosebumps, chills, and left a pit in my stomach when it was all said and done. I didn't if you go back and you watch that show and we get to the end of the show, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to talk about. I don't know what to say. I don't know. I don't know what to do with my hands at that point.
It's Bray fracking Wyatt, bro.
It was so powerful. It was such an intense moment. And you just couldn't do anything but just be in awe of it all.
Yep.
And so now you fast forward to Monday night. Everybody expected Bray to come out Monday. And that Raw kickoff with Bray Wyatt and everything that was going on. We get a QR code throughout the night that eventually when you decode the whole thing, it gives you Friday's date. No, yeah, yesterday. I'm all jacked up.
God bless, son.
It was a lot of adrenaline today watching the Phillies game and then sitting through the Astros game. A lot of adrenaline.
Adrenaline in my soul? What?
every thought is out of control. There you go. I like that. That was well played. And so when you fast forward to Friday night and you sit through the 2 hours, and if you go back and you watch it live, and it's not in anything that WWE officially put out, they gave us title card right before he came out.
Yep.
Not a word was said from anybody. Bray came out. Bray had his conversation. And as he gets to the end of his conversation, his promo, the lights go out and we cut to the screen where a mysterious figure now is kind of taking over that promo.
Yep.
And is saying that, I forget how exactly he words it, but he says something to the effect of, the WWE isn't ready for what's coming, what's at their doorstep, the terror that's at their doorstep. And it was another incredible promo from Bray. So before we go to the comments, Butters, what do you think? Do you agree or disagree?
I think so. I agree. I really think it's all his personalities into one, and we will eventually see one at a time, each personality pop up some way, somehow, whether it be backstage segments, maybe the Firefly Funhouse being back for just even a little bit. At some point, we will see some form of his personalities, even with this new one that we're getting, we don't know the name of yet. That at some point.
Go ahead.
What?
Sorry, I thought you were done. Sorry.
No. I am. I mean, go ahead.
So I did not think this was going to be his personalities, and I'm gonna give him credit for it because he 100% deserves it. Ryan Brodo, HUD Wednesday night, and pretty much wherever the hell else he decides to pop up. Ryan messaged me immediately after that promo and said, "What the hell was that?" And I was like, "Dude, shut up! Don't talk to me. I'm still processing what I saw." Because it was another good promo. And then he was like, it's the 6 personalities of Bray Wyatt. And so we started thinking about that. And then I think like 5-10 minutes goes by because we only could think of 5. And then about 5-10 minutes goes by and he goes, "Oh my God, no, we do know all 6."
The newest one.
Well, we forgot the Firefly Funhouse one because we coupled that with the Fiend.
Oh yeah.
So,
but it is truly a different Bray, though.
It is a very different Bray.
And from what I was reading, this newest persona, this newest mass persona, is apparently, the rumor is internally, and they made the damn trademark for it. The name is supposedly going to be Uncle Howdy. No lie.
Okay. No, we're not going to ruin it yet. It might not be real. It might not be real.
I kind of hope it's not real because I'm sorry, but that's just a weird name for a crazy persona.
So let's go through it, okay? And when I say let's go through it, let's talk about each one and what they are. When I think back to yesterday and that conversation I had with Ryan, I absolutely agree to this poll that these are the 6 personalities of Bray Wyatt. So if you take a look at it, you go way back to Husky Harris.
Yep, the Nexus.
Exactly. That was the very, very first Bray Wyatt. That was his introduction to professional wrestling. And then after the Nexus did its thing, and this is a very, very abridged version of Bray's life and career in the WWE. He goes back to, oh God, we broke him. You know, we're getting in the comments because I want to bring some of these up. Butters looking like he's ready for 18 holes in the bar after. Yeah, he's meeting up with Milakovic and Brodo tomorrow morning.
Sure, okay.
Jake Friel says, "What's up, fellas? I agree to the poll." Damian Hernandez, WWE needed this more than ever because if Bray didn't go to WWE and went to AEW, Triple H would have been screwed. I
don't think so on that part.
I honestly don't think that Bray would have ever gone anywhere else.
I don't think so either, but even if he went to AEW, all that Bray would have done is popped a rating and Tony wouldn't know what to do with him.
Not even that, and I'm not, and
I'm not going to get on that. I'm not going to get on that gag right now.
No, neither am I, because too many people try to poke at that now. And
yeah,
I'm
just saying. I think all it's going to do would be pop a rating, and that's about as far as it goes. At least with WWE, they can get somewhere further with it.
Eric Rowan came out and said he never had a conversation with AEW because too many people were going to want him to be
Harper's replacement
with the Dark Order, and he never wanted to be Brody Lee's replacement. He wanted nothing to do with the Dark Order. That's Brody's legacy.
Yeah,
and I think Bray would have the same thought, especially given how much Brody's death affected Bray.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been well documented. So Ted goes, not to jump too ahead, but what do you guys think about other superstars getting taken over? Twitter's went black and they're enjoying pain. I think that all plays into kind of what Edie's been posting the same comment for the last 4 weeks about. Is about who's in the Wyatt 6. Pete says, what was the poll question? Poll question was the Wyatt 6 is 6 different personalities of Bray Wyatt. And Brian goes, Uncle what? He goes, Uncle Howdy. That makes me want to start an AEW chant this motherfucker. I agree that it's the 6 personalities of Bray Wyatt. And we're going to break this down a little bit more. So, back to our recap of Bray's history. Then he goes back to FCW, which was, now had become is becoming NXT at that point. Like, they're in that transition. And he forms the Wyatt family. And that's where we see the Wyatt family. And then eventually he comes up to the main roster. And the Wyatt family it's incredible. It's an incredible run from start to finish. Just absolutely incredible. It includes Bray being champion, with Randy, without Randy, with Daniel, without Daniel, with Luke and Hart, with Harper and Rowan. Awesome stuff. Then he goes away for a little bit, and he eventually comes back as Firefly Funhouse, The Fiend Bray Wyatt. You get both of them at the same time, but they made it very, very clear that it's 2 different personalities. And now you have essentially Mike Rotunda. I'm sorry, Wyndham. It's Wyndham, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's Wyndham.
Mike is Bo, I think.
Yeah, I think.
I got him confused for a second. Wyndham.
I think you're
You've
right.
got Wyndham, and you've got this new mysterious figure, this demonic, almost like V for Vendetta kind of mask wearing character who's only appearing on screen, and all his promos are coming across very jarbled, very staticky, like he's trying to break free from something coming from somewhere else.
Yeah, Bray is Wyndham Rotunda.
Okay, awesome. So that in of itself is a fantastic story.
Mm-hmm.
But then when you take Damien's comment of Ted's comment of Twitter's going dark. You look at things that have been happening with people like Liv Morgan, knowing that Bo Dallas could potentially be coming back. And you really take a step back and you think about this. Each one of these personalities could fit one of those superstars, one of those talents.
Mm-hmm.
So it's almost like this mysterious figure will project all the personas of Bray Wyatt onto somebody else.
Yep.
And leave Bray as himself. Because if you really think about it, Firefly Funhouse, that could very easily be Bo Dallas. With the whole Bo leave thing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
He's got that Mr. Rogers-esque personality that, that they were using with the Firefly Funhouse to begin with.
Mm-hmm. Now, do I really want to see another Wyatt faction of multiple people? Maybe. Present it to me in a way that doesn't make it seem like it's very Wyatt family or Judgment Day. Because Judgment Day is supposed to be this darker entity. Okay? Oh, I thought you froze. Jesus Christ.
Do what?
I thought you froze. You didn't see
Oh, no. Okay, yeah, no. My bad.
Fine. But
guess I'm pretty good at that.
You are. I can honestly say that when I think about this storyline and I think about where they're going with this, you truly don't know.
Yep. Nobody knows. I mean,
Edie could be
for all we know,
100% right in his comments over the last few weeks, and I'll eat crow if he is right, because I blasted him a few weeks ago. mostly blasted him because we're posting the same comment every single week.
Yeah.
I get it.
But for all we know, this whole Wyatt 6 thing could be nothing. And it's Wyatt 6 is just the bullshit he posted on Twitter just to fuck with people.
Exactly. Because Eva Marie posted something about coming back, trying to piggyback on the whole Bray Wyatt thing. We saw Ryback trolling during Extreme Rules.
The Eva Marie thing kind of threw me for a loop. I'm like, bitch, don't need to come back.
No, you know what that was? My views are down. Let me post something.
Bitch, don't need to post that to get views up.
I agree.
We all know what she needs to post to get views up.
I agree with you. But, again, we go back to this is what it is.
Yep. I get it.
Ryan Butters is frozen with fear. And Mike Rotunda is IRS. Okay, fair enough.
You know what? I'm not going to say what I want to say because I'm going to be polite on air.
It's fine. Ted saying, not saying they ripped him off, just looks similar. The movie ruled. Glad he's working with Bray if that's the case. Oh, he's referring to how the mask looks like the black phone.
Because they're made by the same people.
Ryan says, and Ryan does mention that. Ryan does say it's made by the same people. Ryan goes, think of it like this, Andy. Judgment Day equals Ministry of Darkness. Wyatt 6 equals Nation of Domination. See, I see the Bloodline more as Nation of Domination.
I was about to say, you could probably do Wyatt 6 more as
the Ministry of Darkness. And if anything, Judgment Day is more like, what was that biker gang?
Aces and Eights?
No, not Aces and Eights. Similar, but there was a biker gang in WWE back in the Attitude Era. DOA, I think is what it was.
Okay.
I think.
Yeah, I'll take a look.
So, you don't really know where they're going. And what's so crazy about this is, if Bray Wyatt came out and just started talking and just started being Bray or Wyndham or whatever name you wanted to pick, I think we have a very different conversation. We have a CM Punk-esque conversation.
Yeah, you're right. The DOA yeah. Disciples, Crush, Chain, Skull, and 8-Ball.
Disciples of Apocalypse, right?
Yes, sir.
So, but I think if Wyndham just walked out and was Wyndham, because that was a very real promo.
Yes.
If he was just Wyndham and was going to wrestle under the name Wyndham, okay, this is different. I like this. It's not super different, but it's different for Bray. I like where this is going.
Mm-hmm.
The minute we added in this mask, this supernatural vibe, everything went out the godforsaken window. Right? Everything, not putting up Damien's comment, everything went out the bloody window.
Damien, I think we all would.
But because now we don't know where they're going to take this. Yes, it's Bray's voice. I'm gonna preface this statement with, yes, it's Bray's voice. I get that. But is it Bray under the mask? Because you put that line in our description. Because I'm gonna give you some props on air. You've taken over writing the show over the last couple of weeks. Kai and Tai. Ryan goes, the name of the group you're thinking of is Kai and Tai, Takamichinoku, and Funaki, SmackDown #1 announcer.
God, I fucking almost forgot about Kai and Tai.
How do you forget about Kai and Tai?
It's been a hot minute, okay?
Fair. But that being said, where was I going with that?
You said something about giving me props? I don't know.
Yes, giving you props. You wrote the show. You wrote Extreme Rules last week. You wrote it this week. You've done a phenomenal job. I'm very, very grateful that you've taken that responsibility. And I'll always give you on-air props. I fuck with you a lot, but I'll give you on-air props. But you wrote it in our description this week. You said, what's Bray Wyatt's return mean for SmackDown? And how does this mysterious figure that appeared on the screen at the end of SmackDown fit into the overall story? And you alluded to, and I changed it just for flow, but you alluded to, is it really Bray
Mm-hmm.
being underneath of that? So I want to ask, I want to start with you. Do you think it's really Bray?
I think this new character is Bray. I think the other personas could potentially be for other people, but I think this new character is a new side of Bray that we will eventually see, because as the time went on, his time off, everything he talked about in his promo, you could potentially say unlocked a new persona in his mind. He's put everything back, locked everything up, and this new persona is out and ready to play. And then you could have these other people come out to be his other personas have taken over them, in a sense.
It's a very good possibility. Like it makes me think back to take the fact that I'm a nerd out of it, but I think back to an episode of Star Trek Deep Space Nine where Jadzia Dax asks everybody of the command staff to essentially take on one of her personas for some life event.
Mm-hmm.
And this is very, very reminiscent of that. Except in this scenario, it's a forceful takeover.
Yep.
It's preying on somebody weak or, in a low point in their life or career. No different than, because if you go back to that promo, what does Bray say? He goes, I was at a low point in my life. I was at a low point in my career.
Yep. And that's where this new persona takes over in his mind and says, you know what? We're doing things my way.
This is where that, I'm going to refer to it as Demon Wyatt for a second.
Yep.
Hold on. Andy saw that comment. Yes.
Yeah, I was about to say the one above it.
Yep. Yep. Pete says, I like the new persona. I actually hope it's not Bray and someone else. I do too. Because then you take the idea that it's somebody preying on Bray Wyatt's weakness
Mm-hmm.
and exploiting that weakness and going into the recesses of his mind and taking these different personas and taking the dominance that was Husky Harris and the Nexus, and then taking the powerful Bray Wyatt of the Wyatt family, the unstoppable Fiend, I don't want to say comic relief that is the Firefly Funhouse Bray Wyatt, but the sick sadistic side, because Firefly Funhouse was sick and sadistic if you really sat back and thought about it. Taking all of those attributes and releasing it on other superstars.
Mm-hmm.
And like all right, let's take Liv Morgan for example. Liv Morgan started to pass out to Ronda Rousey, but she started laughing. There's your Firefly Funhouse. There's that sick sadistic side.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Or you could almost say that's the whatever possessed Alexa is taking over her.
Mm-hmm.
Because now that it's booted out of Alexa's taking the therapy, the time, the effort to get all of that out of her. It has now found its next host and has moved on. Getting all supernatural up in this bitch.
But you have to with Bray.
Yes. As crazy as it sounds, you could almost say, they're trying. Bray's kind of the. I guess you could say this era's worth of. This era's Undertaker.
I've been saying that since early Wyatt family that he was going to become this era's Undertaker. But I love it that. All right, hold on. Let's do one at a time. Damien says, question, was it me or did the Bray Demon promo give a clue that Orton might join the Wyatt Six because it mentions having voices in my head?
No,
I think that's just coincidental, honestly.
I think that is too.
Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. There have been conversations and rumors that Randy is going to join Bray's new group if Bray has one.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think that.
I think the voices in the head is more of the personalities of Bray Wyatt all just
exactly, and
colluding together.
You can't really say that line and not think of Randy. I get that.
No, I understand that
But
completely.
I think at that point, all right, we're reading a little too much into it.
Right?
Because don't get me wrong, I probably would say the same thing. Like, I would sit there and I go, maybe? But
I'd say the same thing if we already didn't know how many different personas there was of Bray Wyatt.
Exactly. Ryan says they're doing a split personality with him again, but this time it doesn't involve a Blues Clues show host and a demon mask. It's normal Bray and the version we saw on Saturday.
So you mean the two personas we saw Friday night?
No, I think he's taking that one step further. Remember, Bray came out in a mask Saturday night.
That's what I'm saying. That mask was what we saw Friday night.
No.
Yes.
When?
Friday night at the very end of Bray's promo?
No, that is a different mask, bro.
No, sir. Those are one and the same. Those are the White Rabbit mask.
All right, we're gonna go to YouTube. I'm gonna watch this again, and we're gonna talk about it because Bray Wyatt returns.
See, even Brodo says the same thing. It's the same mask.
It doesn't. That does not look like the same fucking mask. I'm staring at it right now.
It is. It just you got to realize.
And the reason I say this, and let me back up for a second. The reason I say this is when I stare at it on this one picture here that we have, the chin and everything looks longer, looks V in Vendetta style mask. But when I look at this thumbnail on YouTube that WWE has, that way I don't have to go listen to anything and get really jacked up on talking. It doesn't look like that. It looks very, very short.
Yeah.
Ryan, shut up. I'm explaining why I didn't think it was the same mask. But here's the other thing, though. Ryan's just as jacked on adrenaline as I am because the Phillies won. He has amazing content. He has so much content right now. It's Dallas week, and that bastard is going to Game 3 next Friday.
What happens? I know I'm getting off subject here for a moment, but what happens if both of our teams?
If Houston and Philly end up in the World Series?
Yes.
I was more or less instructed I wasn't going to be allowed to go to work. The way it was pitched to me is I was not going to be allowed in certain offices.
Why?
Because
of both sides?
No, because they're all Houston. We have the rally towels hanging from the ceiling in the office. It's been there since they won.
Yeah.
The World Series. That Game 5 rally towel is hanging in the office and hasn't moved since. We've added more since then.
Hey, just saying, it's going to be an interesting World Series if that happens.
I was already asked how many people I can fit in my home for the World Series. So, yeah. Yeah. But Ryan's taking it with that split personality, and I like that split personality idea.
Mm-hmm.
And I like it being a true split personality. But what I really like more is that when he does the split, it's on screen.
Yep.
Right? So it does leave that little bit of doubt in your mind that persona has not been fully unleashed yet.
And remember, we can still do double Bray Wyatt in a scene because we always have, the live video. or what the fuck was it called again? They haven't done it in a while. What they did with Taker AJ, the cinematics.
Yes.
We've got cinematics. WWE's willing to do cinematics now, so they can do any and everything to make these 6 personas come as one.
Oh, you absolutely can do that, and almost drew almost a Firefly Funhouse match kind of cinematic. Just better because I still think that thing was stupid.
What?
The Firefly Funhouse match.
A lot of people seem to love it.
Cinematically, I liked it. I thought it was well done. I'm still not sure how Bray won.
Because Cena disappeared and pulled a "You can't see me" forever.
Like 3 or 4 years later, I still can't figure this the hell out.
Kind of like Ted's comment there.
I do too. Ted goes, we need I think he says, like, we need more split personalities because of this. And Kane did it, like South Park, The Simpsons did it. But I think so with Kane, when he did it, it didn't take a long run. It was only for a couple of weeks. It was kind of campy. I think the best one was when he left in the ambulance and came back as Kane.
Mm-hmm.
Right, like I like that one. I think that's the best one out of all of that. Abyss, it was early Impact. They did what they could.
Abyss pulled it off pretty good.
Yes and no. I really didn't like Joseph Park. So I think that's the takeaway for me is like I did not like. They went very Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde with this.
Which is good, which we really didn't see very much with in wrestling at the time.
Right. Now, with this Bray thing, yes, he came off very timid, very sad, very emotional.
Mm-hmm.
But it was the first time that he got to have a real promo. It was his first time back after essentially having a WrestleMania match and never being seen again.
Yeah.
And so I'll give you that. Right? I'll give you that. But next week, I want to see something different. Okay. All right. So, Ryan says, after watching all this Bray Wyatt stuff, I sometimes forget that all this somehow needs to eventually translate to wrestling. LOL. Like, this feels anything but wrestling. It's not a bad thing. And I think that's going to play into who he wrestles first.
Correct.
I guess we can kind of transfer into that. Where do you think this leads to? How, the Ryan's comment, eventually to wrestling, right? Wrestling who?
Well, if you look at let's see who all's, can't do Gunther. I mean, he's up with, the new SmackDown superstar, which we'll get to later. You can't really do the Bloodline because they're kind of in a thing right now. You can't do Drew McIntyre or Karrion Kross. What's some other big names you could do on SmackDown that really haven't? I mean, you could kind of go Sheamus, but again, I think he's still kind of going. Oh, God. Who the hell does SmackDown truly have at this point again? I can't remember. My mind just went blank.
I mean, those are a lot of your big ones, though.
I mean, you could start small since he's just coming back and just kind of go through, you could go through, enhancement talent. You could go through, some NXT superstars, bring them in or something. But, I mean, all the big dogs are in the...
Well, everybody's in a storyline right now. Oh my God. I think Cleveland just walked off the Yankees.
What?
The Yankees are out.
Yankees lost?
The Yankees, I think they just lost.
Please tell me they lost.
Yeah. Oscar Gonzalez sent Cleveland to the ALDS. walk-off single with the bases loaded and 2 outs as the Guardians beat the Yankees 6-5.
Holy shit.
Yep.
So they lead 2-1, so they just need to win one more game.
Yep. I just looked it up. I thought that series was almost over, but I forgot this was game 3.
I don't care.
I thought this was a
Then it's a tomorrow night game, damn it.
yeah. Oh my god, I just caged my IQ. Still waiting on Corbin to come back, and Sheamus is starting something with Solo.
Yeah.
Back up for a second. Corbin is Husky Harris. Corbin would be the Husky Harris persona, though. Think about it. It makes the most sense.
It does.
Oh, my God, Cage. That's fantastic.
You've also got Madcap Moss.
Nah, I don't think he's going to fit in this.
Well, I mean, Madcap, you really haven't seen much of him lately either.
No, you haven't, but
I can agree to that. I mean, unless you have him, well, no, you can't do that either because somebody else is fixing to start a feud with him. I was going to say Strowman, but you can't do that either.
no, Strowman start with Omos.
Yep.
And I think Strowman ends up joining him, honestly.
And that's fine. That's fine. It gives them both a little something to do.
But to Ryan's comment, translate this back to wrestling. I think we're still 3 or 4 weeks away. If he's only appearing on SmackDown, if he is truly exclusive to SmackDown, I think we're 3 to 4 weeks away before we see him engaging with somebody.
That's fine.
This is going to be WWE's version of long-term storytelling.
That's fine.
I think this is 100% going to end up being that. And I mean, I could spend an entire show talking about Bray Wyatt.
Bray motherfucking Wyatt!
Because we can go a million different directions with this and break down both promos in depth more, but meh. I want to take some time. I don't want to spend too long on it. We're going to try to keep this about an hour and a half show because, yeah. Okay, and yeah, Cage, we talked about that a little bit ago. You think that the masked man's a different person. I hope he is too. I think that would be just fantastic. I want to go back to Raw for a minute. And what was supposed to be the 25th anniversary of DX.
That was a weak 25th anniversary.
That sucked so much.
I'd rather them have brought Hornswoggle back at this point.
It was just anticlimactic. You built it up all night long. You talked about it all night. You only had one backstage segment with them.
All about Cox.
Yeah, it was just silly.
Is it geriatric X now? I mean, Jesus.
That was funny. That was hysterical, though. I will say that. Seth Rollins is the new champion.
Yeah. Which Seth pulled it off perfect with the whole fact that he's injured. Telling him Lashley, hey, you said you're a fighting champion, you're injured too. Fuck it, let's do this, and pull off the victory.
But why did Seth win? Who came out? Who made his return? Who made me scratch my head and go, what the fuck am I watching?
Brock Lesnar.
Yeah.
Looks like we're getting a Saudi match, boys.
Fuck.
Brock's getting that payday.
Ryan says, by the way, I have a guarantee as to what will happen with Gunther and Mysterio. In the meantime, I'll be celebrating the Yankees' downfall. No. Come on. Come back here and tell me what you think your guarantee is. But yeah, Brock came back and essentially helped Rollins win the title because Rollins, to your point though, Rollins did come out. He did play the You're the Fighting Champion
Yep.
You just got your ass handed to you by Brock Lesnar, but whatever.
And Seth was taped up himself, so it's like...
Mm-hmm. We also saw the return of the Good Brothers.
Guess Karl Anderson needed that second pull.
I love that line in the description, by the way. That was well done.
I had seen that earlier week and totally forgot about that tweet from, what was it, last year or so?
Yep.
Like, yeah. But it's I like the fact that the Good Brothers are back to help AJ with Judgment Day.
It makes more sense now. This storyline makes more sense. We do need something for Rhea, though.
Well, that's when you bring in Edge and Beth for War Games.
That doesn't fit. Who do you add to Judgment Day?
You can get anybody. You don't even have to add Edge in. I mean, you could add. I don't know. Because Rhea can do anything. I think WWE they don't want to pull the trigger on the male-female violence per se. I wouldn't call it violence, but
yeah, I don't see them doing that.
All the other companies have, and it's gotten decent. It's done decent things for them, but WWE is still, I think, hesitant on the intergender, intermingling.
Well, you're a publicly traded company. I mean, what do you expect?
Right.
But I'm very, very excited to see what happens here and how they take it. I think the Judgment Day it's been something very, very well done. It's fun to see Rhea kind of emerge as the de facto leader, kind of whispering things behind the scenes and pulling the strings, and the mouthpiece for this.
And then what is it? Finn Balor's face as the music hits.
Oh yeah, that entire segment was so well done.
Yes, AJ has done it again with a damn good promo. Finn's face was just the best.
Mm-hmm. Anything else worth noting?
For Monday Night Raw, I don't think so.
No, I don't think so either. The Sami Zayn, the opening segment with the Bloodline and Sammy and Jay and Jimmy. This is all gonna boil over.
Yeah. The whole Jay thing is gonna come to a true just blood feud in a sense.
Speaking of blood feuds, Ryan says the child, aka Dom Mysterio, will interfere and cost his father the match, continuing the storyline and symbolizing you can't run away from your family. And I think this is gonna. I like where Ryan's head's at, but I like where Ryan's head's at, and I think this is gonna play into the holidays a little bit, and it's gonna culminate on Thanksgiving.
Survivor Series,
and they'll have the match at Survivor Series that weekend.
Yeah.
Damien goes, whoa, wait. WWE don't want women to do what? Did y'all forget Beth got concertoed? Can I take this one?
Oh, please, by means.
By Rhea! It wasn't by Damien or Dom or Finn. No, it was women on women violence. We're talking about men on women violence. And before this chat goes sideways, knock it off.
Thank you, because I was about to say the same shit.
Fuck.
It's something that they don't care what, woman getting hit by this and that. It's the perception of the man beating up the woman. If it's the other way around, everybody doesn't give a shit. If it's the first way around, then people do. So WWE tries to stay away from the controversy. At least that big kind of controversy, because
exactly,
like you said, they're a publicly traded company and they don't need today's society of cancel culture up their ass.
So, let's see. Let's keep going here. The Matt Riddle Sami Zayn fight was good. I'm not mad about it.
So maybe maybe Riddle will finally, we'll get a rematch. Maybe he'll get into Roman's head enough that after the whole Logan Paul thing's done, Riddle might get a rematch for the title. Maybe have Riddle upset him.
Possibly. That's
NX
really it WWE wise.
Well, I mean, NXT, you had Sonya Deville take Mandy's place for the moment.
Why?
Well, Mandy's out because of a funeral. Her brother passed away.
Okay, I didn't know that. So,
But
our thoughts to Mandy and her family.
Yeah. But it looks like we might have Fire and Desire back together.
But why?
She attacked Alba Fire, helped out Toxic Attraction.
But why?
Probably to give Sonya something to do since all they've been doing with her beating down on her.
But why? All right,
Don't.
Damien, buddy, my guy. That the one-off stuff is not what we're talking about, right?
This is a full-blown bloody match we're talking about here.
Yeah, and if before anybody says oh fuck, who was it? It was Lacey and Corbin.
Oh, Lacey, Corbin, Seth, Becky?
And Becky. Before anybody says anything there, I think Corbin, again, a one-off attack on Becky during that match.
Yep.
We're talking full-blown, the entire match. They haven't done it. I love it how people are just so like itching to try to just say we're wrong on something.
Right.
And it's not saying we're right on everything, but there's a logic behind the things in which we say them.
Yes.
If you want us to explain more, please ask.
Oh my God.
But I digress on that.
Move on to AEW, I guess.
Really, the only takeaway I have from AEW is Orange Cassidy winning the All Atlantic title, which I love that.
And I don't know if you see. Thank you, Damien. I don't know if you saw the video of Chris Statlander coming out with the backpack, with the JanSport backpack.
When?
They showed a video. It was I guess it was after AEW had went off the air, but she'd hobbled down to the ring. They tried to get her to slow down because she was like power walking down that bitch. She's got the brace on and everything, but apparently in the indies, instead of holding the titles, he would carry them around in a backpack and pull them out when needed.
Oh.
So
okay.
she hobbled her ass down there, took the backpack, put the title in the backpack, and.
So no, I did not see that. Okay.
So I guess now he's gonna do the same thing he did in the indies and carry the backpack instead of carrying the title.
We saw the return of Sean Spears.
Yes.
As the perfect 10.
About time he finally got on his own instead of with all these factions.
And I liked how they introduced him. I liked that. That was really good. I'm on Rampage, not on Dynamite.
What do you got? You got God, I literally
Jungle Boy versus Luchasaurus happened. Luchasaurus gets the win.
Yes.
Which I don't like that. That's dumb.
Yeah, but did you really think Jungle Boy was going to get it this time around?
No, but why do the match right now?
I don't know. I really don't, but it's one of those things like Daniel Garcia turning on Daniel Bryan.
Was that on Dynamite? I thought that was on Rampage.
I thought that was on Dynamite because that was after the Jericho versus Bryan match.
It was absolutely. I liked that.
Brodo, kiss my ass.
First of all, I need Brian to understand that Butters does not speak for the show when he says "Brodo, kiss my ass." Butters is on his own.
I am.
So good luck there, buddy.
God, just when we think we moved
By the way,
on.
this is Dan from Weekly Roundup. He put that in there earlier, and I just never put it up there. Spears had a 4-minute promo after the match too, talking about why he's been away. All right, I like that. But I like Garcia turning on Danielson, and Cage saying that's more. There is more than meets the eye. Apparently, he's a transformer.
Well, I think where he's going with is what's in my mind is that it's all a ruse.
It might be
Him
a way to
turning
take
on
down the Jericho Appreciation Society from the inside.
yes.
I like that. I don't hate that. It's important to note that Wheeler Yuta and Claudio come out, not Daniel Bryan, not John Moxley.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Anything else really to take off from Dynamite? No.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
Nothing truly big. I mean,
Rampage, we see Stu Grayson makes his return. Hey, I've only been asking Ryan to come out here for the last like 3 or 4 years. So,
well, I guess I was able to get him to come out here then.
to whoop your ass.
Good luck. This
FTR
Batman fights back.
FTR and Sean Spears versus the Embassy. It's important to note how over Sean was here, and they were all matching Bret Hart. That's a shout out for Chrome. After the match, the Kingdoms, Maria Kanellis, Mike Bennett, and Matt Tavern attack them. Embassy joins in for the beatdown. War Joe makes the save to end the show. So huge ending to the show.
Good old War Joe.
Huge ending to the show with the Kingdom coming out and the Embassy, and the Kingdom from ROH, Mike Bennett, Maria Kanellis, Matt Tavern, Stu Grayson making his return.
I just wish Tony would hurry up with Ring of Honor.
With what do you mean?
Getting it its own, slot on TV, something.
Yeah, you won't see any of that till after the postseason.
Because
it's important to note that because of the postseason, AEW is moving to Tuesday.
Did not know that.
I think it's because of the postseason, and I think because of NHL.
Oh yeah. So they're just for the week, right?
Yeah. And that's when Adam Page will go 1-on-1. Adam Page with John Moxley for the title. And if Adam Page wins, I promise you, Hockey Happy Hour or Weekly Roundup. So Dan, be ready. We'll get a run in of me yelling and screaming.
Well, no. Here's the thing, though. If Hangman Adam Page wins, I think this is where we see the cash in of the chip.
Hold on, pause. Dan, did I say Tavern? I meant Tavern. My bad.
Matt Taven?
Taven, yeah. I
wasn't even paying attention to what you had said.
It didn't click that I said Tavern. I think because I've got certain things on my mind. So
somebody wants to go to a tavern later.
Right.
What was I saying before that?
I don't know.
Oh, come on. I was just saying something. Oh, my God.
Who knows?
Well, no, I was going somewhere with it, and I
with what part? Oh,
I don't remember at this point.
The cash in.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, don't tell Zach. It'll make it so much better. All right, so the cash in. Go ahead.
I think if Hangman Adam Page wins it, this is where we get the cash in of the chip.
Absolutely.
Period. And then you can set up for your next big event, you can set up, your world title match. But I think if Moxley wins, we'll get the chip cash in at I can't remember what the next big event was. What was it?
I think Full Gear's next.
Yeah, I think it's Full Gear.
No,
but I think MJF's going to cash in if Adam Page wins it. So you'll blow up your rant, and then all of a sudden you'll be like, "Oh shit, never mind. I'm sorry."
It's Full Gear. It is Full Gear.
Full Gear. Okay. I mean, unless if they hold, I think if Moxley retains, then we'll see at Full Gear a true match. But I think MJF, really and truly being MJF, should just cash in whenever the hell he feels like it.
I agree. Absolutely. I'm good. Do you have anything else?
No, I'm good.
All right. So we'll be back next week. Next week is going to be Halloween Havoc. Probably live reaction or just live recap. I don't know yet. I have to look at schedules. It'll really all depend on what's going on with the Phillies as well.
Mm-hmm.
So, guys, check out everything going on this week. Eagles, Cowboys tomorrow. Go Birds. We'll see you next time. Until then, peace, love, and joy, guys. We're out of here.